So I'm just going to let everybody know we're going live, guys, and then we'll jump right into it. Excuse me. Let me make sure my mic and stuff's on. Got one more here. Let's see. Did that do it? Hold on. I don't think that, hang on. The link I put up did not do right. Let me do another one. There we go. Now I'll throw up a right one. Sorry about that, guys. So let me put up these new messages and we'll get going. Well, if I can type right today, I'll get this thing going. So we got some cool stuff to look at, some cool plays that we made, things like that. One more here and then we're good. Should be good. Did that one not work neither? Let me see. No, okay, that one's working. So let me put it here, and that's one other place, and we're good. Okay, guys, like always, if you have any questions, anything like that, hey, Drug, how's it going? If you got any questions, or tickers, throw them up in chat and we'll go over them. Okay, with that being said, Charge Point looks like it's offering up a good entry point. An even better one would be if it pulled on back to the 50 and bounced. But Charge Point has done killer today. Guys, I made an awesome play. We know that I've had Lucid shares for a while now. But this morning, I seen in the after hours how it was riding out the 15. We had to split. And as soon as the morning hit, and we had good volume, we seen good separation between the 15 and the 50, I jumped in with calls. And guys, I sold them at the first sign of resistance. Actually, I may have sold them down here, I think. What time was that? No, this might have been it, because that would have been right around that time. But anyways, I sold them for over 2,000%. Guys, I made a freaking killing on this. I had three options, $30 option calls, and made a freaking killing. Now, I did sell, when I seen this get resistance here, I did sell, I had about 100 shares in this. I sold roughly about 30 of them, and I'm going to hold on to the rest. If it breaks this 50, I'll go ahead and sell the rest. But as long as it holds it, I'm going to stay in and see what it does. I mean, I'm already up like crazy. I mean, even the 30 that I sold, let's see, we got in this morning here, this last time. Oh, shit, hang on. So we got in somewhere around here. And when I sold that 30, it would have been somewhere on, well, the candle moved, been somewhere around here. There was 55%. So even if I wait until the 50-day and get out, that's 25%, guys. That is an awesome play. You can't beat that. Another one I played this morning was Apple calls. I think I was up like 250% on this one when I sold. I actually, I was up like crazy and ended up selling at the first sign of resistance. I figured that, yeah, it was going to come back down to here, but the likelihood that it would come back up and break this wasn't a good chance since it was so far separated. So I just went ahead, took my profits, all of them on it. I didn't hold any back. But if we, and this is not even earnings yet. If earnings ends up being good for them this evening, watch this going up. And I'm actually might even break one of my rules and pick up a call for Apple this evening, because if this breaks, let me show you here. See, we're broke above this trend lines here, but if we can get up above 157, which we are only what, 5 away from it roughly. If we can break above that, this is going to soar. So we'll just have to wait and see what it does. But I will be picking up some calls for this as soon as I'm going to wait until closer to the end of the day and hope for a good pullback before I do. Hey John, hey Mike. Do I think X will beat? Well, here is the problem with earnings. One of the major factors in earnings is outlook. Now, I know from, it really depends on what they're going to say on their earnings call. I do think it's going to be close, if not a beat, on the EPS. I do believe their revenue is definitely going to be a beat. But their outlook is what I'm worried about. So the fact that this is down makes it a decent play if you wanted to play it for earnings, because it's already down. Support, your nearest support is less than $1 away. Or wait, no. Yeah, less than $1 away. So if it does miss, I don't look for this to crash right out right away, right off the bat. So if it does miss, if you play it this evening for tomorrow, I think you'll have a decent chance to get out before it goes too far, if that makes sense. So, you know, you kind of got to verse your risk versus reward. So as far as X beating or meeting or beating earnings, I think it stands a really good chance to do that. But what may hurt it is its outlook. From what I've been looking at, there is some analysts who are worried about their outlook. And we got to remember that when it comes to earnings, it doesn't matter, how can I put this? It doesn't matter what the outlook really is. It matters on how it gets reported. Now, in the longer term, it matters what it really is. But in the earnings, if you're just going to play it just for earnings, it matters more on how it gets reported. So, on that fact, that has me a little bit worried. But if you're looking at shares in this, yeah, I mean, it's a good play. If you're looking at options, because shares you can hold through any small pullbacks or anything like that, and wait for the actual bullishness to come through if the outlook is decent. Now, calls, if you're playing this on calls and it misses and the outlook ain't what we expect it to be, then I think you'll have a chance to get out without being out too much money. So that's what makes it a different or a decent play as far as options go. But you need to make that decision right off the bat in the morning, whether you want to hold or sell it. Because if it is bad, the quicker you can jump off that bat, and you'll be able to tell in the pre-market if it's bad or not. You know, you'll see it moving in one direction. If it's good, you're going to see it shoot up. If it's bad, you're going to start seeing it move down more. So that's my thoughts on it. But if you're playing shares, yeah, you're probably going to be good if the outlook isn't the best in the world. I think it's going to pick up. You might see a small sell-off in the beginning, but within a week or two, you're going to see it pick back up. And probably, I would almost, let me see what it's. Yeah, I said pick back up and at least come back to here, if not higher. Yeah, this morning was a killer morning. We also had ChargePoint up, and I think ChargePoint is maybe offering a decent in right now. I know some people was talking about jumping in on it. I'm looking at ChargePoint between now and December to hit over $30, as long as there's no terrible bad news come out about it, things like that. I'm looking for it. Tesla is looking weak right now. If you come out here to the day chart and we look at these candles, those long wick, those are called hesitation candles. That is pulling back right at these. I put this resistance kind of in a box, but it's pulling back right there. And if we look at the 4 hour, same thing. It got rejected here, and now it's kind of like consolidating out here. So if we look at the 15-minute, we can see a better picture of it, of how it got rejected here, and a few times in here. It's kind of consolidating out. If this drops below the 50 and confirms, it's for sure coming on down to the 200. Now, if we look at, I think it's a 4 hour. If we look at a break below this 15, and it does come down to the 50, that is back down to around 950. Now, if you run the options calculator on that, and you go out to even the options that are, let me show you here. We go to next week, and we come out to the options that are around $200 to $300. Which, let's go with 250, the 715. So let me show you this real quick. Tesla. Select options. Next week, let's look for a put that is around 250. Right, let's go with the 264. Calculate. We can see that it only needs to come down to $1,000, 1,008, for you to get $124. If it does come down to that green 50-day, you're looking at $478. So that's worth looking at, guys. I mean, I know a lot of people will look at things like Tesla and Roku and say, well, damn, those options are so expensive. But run it through the calculator and see if you was to get a cheaper one and it pulls back pretty decent, how much you can make, or goes up pretty decent. Because sometimes you'll be surprised at how far out of the money you can go in them and still make money if it moves only a little bit. right here is one. Plug I put out yesterday that I thought it would break out the bottom, but I said I would bet on puts, but it is in this triangle. Wait for confirmation before you play, because it could go either way. If it breaks out to the top, it's going to be bullish. If it breaks out to the bottom, it's going to be bearish. And today, if we come back here, we pull it up on here. Plug, sure enough, broke out of the top and went parabolic for a little bit. It went all the way from 34.64 all the way up to 38.65 in just a matter of this morning here, a couple hours. We can see that it is pulling back, but overall I do look for this to catch itself and bounce. So this could be offering up a decent little entry point too. Now, excuse me one second. Sorry about that. My son ended up school letting out early over water issues, so he's home and he plays games. He gets pretty loud. BRPM. Yes, we'll look at that right here in a second. So yeah, it could be offering up as long as there's no bad news or anything like that. We also, I ain't checked this one yet. This is one that I was wanting to play this morning and never did check back on it. So yeah, see, RNT, I put it on there because it was staying above the 200 going into the bell. But we can see that quickly sold off. It is holding the 200, so it's good to probably set you an alert on it. If it was me, I would set my alert for right above this 50-day EMA line. Put it sharp rise, sharp fall, put above, save. Now, let's look at the one you had there. What was it? BRPM. BRPM. This is a merger corp, a blank check. So it's a SPAC. What do you know on it? Is somebody buying them out? I mean, are they merging with somebody? Because I tell you, the chart looks like it's already went up on some news, and maybe that's just the news that they was finally merging with somebody. What you need to know for the next catalyst would be the catalyst date. Like, when is the decision going to be finalized? Have they already signed the deal? Are they getting ready to sign the deal? You know, things like that. Those are things to watch with SPACs, because those catalyst dates is what sends them running. And guys, do not hold this when it comes back down. When you get those peaks, start selling off, start scaling back down. That's where your money's at. Don't say, well, I'm going to hold this until next year because I believe in this company. No. That's not how you play these plays. If you are bullish on the company, then sell your peak, get your money, and buy back in on the dip. If not, then why play the merger at all? I mean, for some preferred shares or something like that. I mean, then you're out all kinds of money just for some preferred shares. Because trust me, it will come back down. Get your money when you can, take your profits, and then if you want to go long on the company, wait on that dip and buy in. But yeah, that's what you need to find out, is what those catalyst dates are. Let's see. BBIG, of course, we'll go over that one. RNT, we just went over it. Yes, profit is the prime directive. You're in this to make money, so take it when you get it. Remember, guys, if this is going to be a good company, it's still going to be a good company after the sell-off. So take your money, take your profits, And then if you want to, you got more profits to go long on it afterwards. You know, be smart with your money. Play the play. Don't let the play play you. Play. I had to say it one more time. Oh, guys, let me tell you something. Did you know that hitting the like and subscribe button gives you a better chance of winning at the stock market than not hitting it? So I think it'd be a really good idea right now if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. I'm telling you, guys, more people that hit that like and subscribe button end up doing way better in the market than those that don't. It's facts, you know. Believe it if you want to, but I'm hitting it. Okay, without all the bullshit, let's get into it. BBIG had a nice little turnaround this morning. We can see that it's making higher highs, higher lows. It's climbing up that 15. As long as it keeps bouncing, I mean, you might see a retest of the 50, and that would be fine. But as long as it keeps bouncing, we want to see the price. You guys, if you've been on this channel long enough, you know one of my perfect setups is the 15 cross over the 50 with the price being above the 200. Now, if we can get these 15 and 50 to cross, that's even better. But the setup with the price being over the 200, we have the 15 over 50 cross, and we have good volume to follow it. This is a good setup. It just needs to confirm it with a clear bounce and have that 50 also cross the 200. That's the next step in this. But yeah, BBIG's looking sweet right now. If we pull back to the 400, we can see that it's held its support. It did dip momentarily just right under it, but we see we got the quick pullback. So that was kind of like a fake out breakout. And if we look here, we're in a triangle. So right now with BBIG, depending on how you're playing it, you know, if you're playing it for some type of squeeze, then you know the plays from there. But if you're playing it for the next rallies, whatever, look for these breakouts. If it breaks out below this, you might want to look at lowering your position or getting out. If it breaks out to the upper end of it, then look for it to rally for a sign of resistance, get out. But if you're playing it for the squeeze, like I said, you know the deal. You just hold until the squeeze. It's holding support right now. It's looking pretty decent. If y'all have been in AMC or GME, you know how these things work. You can look at this chart right here. You see how it's setting up? Now let me show you AMC. I had to pull it to the date. Look, same thing. Popped up, sells off, bounces right in between. Even it fell briefly underneath. So that's just the way these plays go. They have wild swings until eventually they break out one way or the other. So that's what we're looking at. AMC, by the way, since we're here, it had a test of the 200, got rejected. It's trying to retest it. But guys, this is not going to go bullish again until it breaks this 200 and confirms it. Until then, only thing you can do is wait for it to break it. Then that would be your buy-in point if you want to buy the dip on it. If you buy the dip before it breaks that, know that it can keep selling off. Okay? A stock can always go lower. Wait for that confirmation. Yes, you see, John knows right here. He says, yes, likes will get more money. It's a proven, actually. And I don't, John sounds like a very smart guy. Why doubt John? Let's see, John. So if Tesla falls the 50 on the 15-minute, put should be nice, you were saying. Yeah, let me show you this. So on Tesla, the two main ones I'm looking at is the 15 and the 4 hour. So if it falls under this 50 day, and what I'm looking at is for it to come underneath, pull back up, retest it, get rejected again. At that rejection, that would be time that puts are good. Now from there, I would look for it to come back down right at or pretty damn close to this 200. Ooh, excuse me. If we look at the 4 hour, we can see that, let me make sure now, I don't want to lie to you. Yeah, so we can see that on the 4 hour, the 15-day is pretty close to where the 200 is on the 15. So from there, if it gets below the 50, gets a clear rejection and comes down, right? Then you want to watch this 4 hour. Now from there, if you're looking at this 15 and you're holding to the 200, you're saying, should I get out or should I stay in there? Is it going to bounce or is it going to keep selling off? Well, from there you can look at your 4 hour. You can say if it falls under this 15-day, does the same thing, pull up, get rejected, then I would look for it to pull on back to this 15-day or 50-day on the 4 hour. So, depending on what option you buy, what put option you buy, if you can get one of the more costly ones, this 15-minute here is well worth playing. Well worth playing. And we're talking about costly, it being anywhere from the ones that are in the money at 39 all the way to about, let's go by strikes, anywhere to about the 900 strikes. Then this pullback right here would be great. Now, if you wanted one of those cheaper ones like I'm talking about, like the 200, then you want to play this 4 hour one. You want to wait for it to break under this 15-day, get rejected there and come on down. That's where the real money would be at on those cheaper puts that I was talking about. That's also the one that I'll be playing on this one. I will probably jump in after the clear break and rejection here, and then from here I'll be watching the 4 hour to see what it does from there. So that's probably where I'll jump in, but if it pulls back up here, I'll get out and take whatever profits I got. It'll probably be 40, 50, 60, maybe even $100. We'll just have to wait and see. I think we've seen, if it come back to 108, was $147. So be anywhere between $40 to $100 just going on the 15-minute to the 200. So that would be good enough for me to enter here and then wait and see what it does here. And then if it gets rejected at the 200 there or the 15-minute here, then that's where the real money, that's where the $300 and $400 puts are going to come in. So play it for the $50 put, but watch for the $400 put. Does that make sense? Those are the key areas to watch on these. And that's the way I'll be playing it. Yeah, guys, don't be a loser. Be like John. Hit that like and subscribe button. See, here's another one, John Patrick. Hit the like button on ZEROPLAYS webpage. Made $1 million. I can't confirm that, but he made a bunch of money. Okay, so what are we looking at for plays for tomorrow? This stuff is all great. We went over plays that we made today. We went over possible upcoming plays and what to watch out for. But what about tomorrow? Doug, what can you do for us today? We don't care what you did yesterday. What can you do today for us? Well, I will be playing Apple. Again, I'm just looking for some type of pullback. And guys, I'm not going to lie to you. This is a risky play. Because, what in the hell's going on? Dude, my chart's doing a connection fit here. With everything that's been going on here recently, the lawsuit that they had to change up some things on, the third-party stuff with Snap and Twitter and all that, it is a risky play. But let's face it, where Apple is now, it's going to beat EPS. They're going to have awesome earnings, and their outlook's probably going to be pretty decent. So the only thing that it can hurt now is this recent news on it. So if we get a decent pullback right here, even down to, well, hell, even to this resistance line here, that'd be a decent buy-in point. And I'm going to pick up, let's look here. We want calls. And we don't want to go too far out. We're just playing it for tomorrow. But I don't want to do daily since I'm holding overnight. Well, look, dailies don't even have nothing on it, does it? Let me refresh. Yeah, see, the close-up dailies don't even have nothing on it. So let's go to the next week. Here we go. So this 155 looks decent, and look at the volume on that. That'd be easy to get in and out of. Theta's 35. Or, sorry, Delta's 35. Even Gamma is 5 cents, so it gains 5 cents more on the Delta for every dollar it goes up. And Theta is 11 cents just for holding overnight. So for one of those dollars that it goes up, will only be about 25 cents instead of 35. And then every dollar after that would be 40, 45, 50, 55, so forth, so on, go on. Things like that. If it does not do well, because it's the PM, we'll know right away. If it doesn't do well, you're probably looking for a bit of a sell-off. So let's take a look at supports. So this yellow one right here is a decent one. We'll put that up here in case we need it. Let's adjust this just a little bit. So this yellow one's a decent support. The orange one's okay, but not a great one. I'm actually going to get rid of this one and move this one to here. So probably this yellow one or this orange one is your next resistance. So you're looking for a decent sell-off if it misses. So out of that $165 before you could get out, you're probably looking at a hit of anywhere from 20 to 50 bucks. So let's be real about it, right? So it is a bit of a risk. So you're pretty much, your risk to reward ratio is pretty much going to be 1 to 3, in my opinion, before you could get out if it misses. So you're risking $1 to get 3, if that makes sense. The SPY is another one I'll be looking at. This one would be solely a day trade for tomorrow, just like Tesla would be. Well, no, Tesla could possibly swing a few days, but this one would solely be a day trade. And if you don't have the money to play the SPY, you can play SPXS. That is the bear version of the SPY that is triple leverage, so SPXS. So you can see this one goes up whenever the SPY, that's not it. SPXS. This one goes up whenever the SPY goes down. So since the SPY is up right now, this one's down. So this one you can either buy in shares and ride it, or you can buy in calls. You do not want to hold this one for longer than a day or two. I recommend only day trading with this, but you definitely don't want to hold it for more than a day or two. But let's go back to the SPY so I can show you. The SPY has been doing pretty decent, but it is overextended. It needs to cool off. It needs to pull back. The market is done killer. I don't look for the overall market to go bearish, but I do look for it to have a healthy little pullback. And we can see if we look at the SPY before all this sell-off and shit. Let me go to the 4 hour. I'm on the 1 hour. We can see some of these healthy pullbacks are to the 50 and the 200. The big ones are the 200s. On this one, I'm expecting one back to at least the 50. We're due for a 50-day EMA pullback on the 4 hour. We've not had one since the run-up. It's starting to look weak. You can see it starting to U-shape around. It is getting rejected if we zoom in. It is starting to get rejected here. And if you look at the day chart, we can see that we're having days of pretty decent red days. You know, right here you can see on the 4 hour these hesitation candles. Every time it gets up next to this resistance line, it pulls back. So I'm going to be watching the 15-day and, well, I've already got one there, and that red 454 mark. If this breaks the 50-day and starts to get lower than that red support line, I'll be getting puts on this. And the puts are not expensive. If you're just day trading, you only have to go out a day or two. So let's go right here, the 4th. It's 4 days out. Oh, we're on puts. So you can see, even if you do right next to in the money, they're only $166. If you go to the 454, they're $76. And you get $29 for every dollar it drops. So if you're expecting it to drop $4, that's over $100 right there. That's roughly 120 bucks. So that's not a bad play neither. Guys, look for EV to continue doing good. What is some? Oh yeah, Go EV. I've been getting alerts on it all morning. It just got rejected at resistance. We know EV's been running really good. So it's offered our, hang on, I'm sorry guys. Yeah, sorry, he gets into those games, man. But you can see that's pulled back here. I'm not saying this is going to run in the after hours. I'm not saying that this is going to take off or anything. I am saying I do believe it's going to come back up and retest resistance at least. So if we're looking at that, let me see. So to there. So that's 5 or 6%. Just to see it retest resistance. And if we get a breakout above that, it's probably going to do pretty decent. So let me see another one here. Skills is one that we played earlier today. Me and Texas was playing Skills earlier today. Pretty much we bought in on this dip. And what we did was we was going to play to this resistance line. We said if it got a clear rejection there, we would take our profits and get out. We can see that it did break over. We didn't get a clear rejection of the 15, so I'm still in. I haven't talked to him in a little bit to see if he's sold or not, but I'm still in. And I might end up selling my calls near the close of the day by holding on to my shares. So we are getting halfway through the day. Let me check on Apple. If it's looking good, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my calls. Yep. Before it tries to run into the after hours, I'm going to go ahead and pick up some Apple calls. So what I'm going to go for is just the next week, because I'll be holding overnight. And I'm going to go this 155 strike. What I'm probably going to do is I'm just going to grab one here, and I'm going to grab two of the 160, which is at 58. That gives me the two highest open interest volume. That gives me decent delta on both of them, and more importantly, the theta is not going to kill me on them. So those are the two I'm going for. The 155 and the 160. So let me pull this up. I'm sorry if y'all keep hearing him in the background. He just really gets into those games. He's a little sweat on Fortnite. Wow. What about like that? Okay. Make it put this back in. What about now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Somebody give me a hands up if you can hear me now. See, it's showing good on my end still. I don't know what's going on. Yes, awesome. Thank you, man. I don't know what happened. There was some type of glitch, and it was the last time I muted for one of my kids, and I come back on, and it just, I don't know. It was showing good on my end, and I seen one of y'all said something, and I went to actually the YouTube page, was seeing what it was showing, and yeah, it wasn't showing nothing. Sorry about that, guys. So, let me recap that real quick. This is the order book. This is, you can see that there's a center line here. This is, on the green side, it'll show you all the buys that are coming up. All the, so think of it as the bull side. On the red side is the bear side. It shows you all the sales coming up. And you can look, it'll go down the price on this side, and it'll show you the volume size on this side. And then this kind of gives you a visual representation of what it's showing. So you can kind of start to see that there's, let me show you a better one here. Let's go with AMC. It's usually pretty wild. Yeah. So you can see here, you can start to see where you might start seeing some pockets of resistance around these little walls. And you can even see them sometimes. They'll look like a damn tsunami coming in. So like on this one, you might start seeing pockets of resistance. If you're short on it, you'll start seeing pockets of resistance around 34.81. If you're long on it, you might start seeing pockets of resistance around 35.30, somewhere around through that area. Now, this is a good indicator by itself, but I wouldn't use it to trade only on that. It's more of like confirmation of what you're seeing. So it's a good, one of my theories is throw the kitchen sink at it. Put all your indicators in a box. The more indicators you have pointing toward what you're looking for, the better you are. The more you have pointing away from that, means don't trade it. So it's a good indicator to watch. Here's the volume analysis one. I like using the time sales one a little bit better, but this is pretty good. It shows you the price. It shows you the buy versus sell side of each one of them. Even shows you like the grayish areas are sales that haven't went through yet. Things like that. Here's that order flow I was telling you about. You can also get it up here on the bigger tab. So you can see large scale buys and sells on both sides. It gives you a little graph to go by. But what I like about this is this large scale orders over the last 5 days. So you can see over the last 5 days, these are in the millions. So this is 1.4 million. This is 0.84 million. Sold, things like that. So these are good for volume analysis. You can use the advanced and decliners to see about the overall market. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? So you can see in the overall market, we have a lot more, almost double, well actually over double, advancers than we do decliners. So that's the reason why the market is looking very bullish right now. If we look at financials, it goes ahead and gives you the financials, net income, things like that. You can look at even balance sheets, cash order flows, all that stuff. If you're into fundamental analysis, this is good for that. You can even look at, right here, releases. Here, when y'all ask me about any filings, merger stuff like that, I'll go to the stock and I come here first because it has all the 8K filings, 4K filings, things like that, insider sales. Corporate actions will show you dividends, splits, and insider activity. Press release, oh, that's that one, sorry. Right here's the analysis one you was talking about. So, depending on, like right here it says non-analysis, analyst, sorry. it'll show you what they think about it. We already know that they have a poor view of AMC, and fundamentally they probably was right up until the last few months, but AMC is even starting to look pretty decent fundamentally here recently. So, and if you don't find these on your Webull account, on each one of these windows, if you hit those three little lines, go to Add Widget, All Widgets. Here's where you can find them and put them out. So say you wanted, what else? Hit time sales. So say I wanted that one. I'll hit the plus. It pulls up. Now I can get rid of this. Let me get that back up here. And then I can drag it right over here. And if it's in the square, that means it'll pop up right there. If it's on one of the arrows, it'll be above it, below it, left, right. So we want it on there. So we'll put it there. And now we have this. So this tells you the time, the sales as they come through in real time. That's the reason I like using it, especially around the end of the day, that type of stuff. Here's one of my favorite things to use. On the watch list tabs, if we look at, so say, right here's my name brand tab. Anything that's a well-known stock, I try to put in here. And what I'll do is I'll fix it to where the percentage change, the greatest bullish percentage change goes on top. So I can go through here and I can check them, whatever's got the highest percentage change on down. So it's like if you see here, I've got it where the highest one's on top. I just double click on it and it brings me straight to the chart. You can even do the weekly watch list. See, I put my weekly watch list all on the same tab for that week. I can even see what's doing the best there. It does have a screener. I don't use this one much. You can set the screener up however you want to, and even save the ones you like. You can see here I've got one for small market caps, oversold, $9 to $30, high dividend yield bank stocks, stuff like that. I use FinViz most as a screener, but I have used this one. The markets tab is very good. It's got the overall market news. You have a calendar for earnings, dividend splits, and even IPOs. 52 weeks high, popular stocks, tops, actives, ETFs. And what's cool about all this stuff, including the heat map, if you see a sector you like, double click on it. Not only will it show you the stock here that you just double clicked, but right over here on the side, it gives you that whole watch list for that sector that you just clicked on. So you can go right through them and see what's doing good. Webull is an awesome tool to have, guys, I'm telling you. If I had Webull and Benzinga Pro, I wouldn't need nothing else to trade with. That's all I would need. Only problem is Benzinga Pro is without any deals or anything going on, it's $170 a month. But let me tell you, if you got the money to spend on it, that's money well spent. I'm telling you, it is the shit. I have a video out talking about like a quick review on it. It's pretty decent. Again, guys, if you're just joining, if you'd hit that like and subscribe button, it'd really help me out. I greatly appreciate it. And not only that, you're guaranteed to do better in the market when you hit that like and subscribe button. It's a proven fact. Don't need to look it up. I'm telling you, it's true. You can call on Tyrone. You can believe them shits, yo. What is popping off? Let's see. We looked at a couple of these a second ago. Let's come back at them and look and see what's done it. So see, that one popped right up. It might do good as long as it can stay above the 50. We'll just have to wait and see. This one was one that we thought would do good into the after hours. So far, I mean, we do have some hesitation. Candles here, some wicks. So, you know, be careful. It needs to really break above this area for it to stay bullish. But I would watch the after hours on this one. If this one starts to take off and you can buy in the after hours, this one might be one to look at. METX, we said we was looking for a 50 to 61% pullback. We may still get it. Look to see if one of these wicks or candles hits this 50% or 61. If it hits there and bounces, MTX could do good tomorrow. I'm losing everything I got now. Can't find nothing. Oh well. Lucid looks like it's bouncing, going to stay good. What? Let's look at, we're just talking about this. Let's look and see what's up here. Lending Club, Lucid. Somebody told me, OCGN, somebody told me that it's got another catalyst coming up on November 2nd or 4th, I can't remember. So guys, if you can catch this one now or around these support lines, definitely if it comes back down under this 50, if you can get it there and hold it to one of those catalysts, this will be a good setup right now, because OCGN is famous for running on even a little bit of good news. Any small catalyst sends this stock going. And you can even see just today, just on the rumor that it's got that new catalyst coming up, it's ran almost 11%. And you can even see at times it's hit higher, 12%. So it's something to think about. It's one to definitely keep on your watch list. Guys, in the morning, we will have the morning briefing. We will go over some stocks. We'll see how Apple done. Ford, I'm waiting to see on Ford. I wish it would have a pullback to the 200 and bounce. But if we get a decent bounce here, it might be worth playing tomorrow. Art K, guys, if y'all remember me telling you about it, it's a good one to buy when it drops under, well, from 116 on down, it's a decent buy, because it always comes back up to 120 to 130, give or take, right in there. And sure enough, we talked about it on this dip. And where's it at now? I ended up selling mine on this run up here. So I got about 15% out of mine. But it did hit as high as 1660, and is even currently sitting at 14%. So keep your eye on this and set you an alert for when it breaks below 117, and watch for the bounce. Go EV. My alerts have been going off all day on Go EV. And I don't know. Here's another good thing about Webull. It's got this news tab right here. You can quickly skim. I mean, they've got Benzinga, Routers, Simply Wall Street, Guru. So you can quickly see quick news. And if you click on them, you can see it'll pull it up here. Mine usually pulls up in another window. That must be new. So yeah, you can quickly pull up the news and stuff. This used to pull up in the browser, but now this must be new to the new update. Canoe selects Panasonic to supply batteries. So this is all 3 days ago, though. This wouldn't explain why it's running today. But again, we'll have to see if it gets up over this 808 resistance. If it got up over the 826, that'd be even better. Do y'all have anything you want me to look at before we call it today? Let's see what Apple's doing in the aftermarket real quick. Oh, it's coming back down. I made a bad call. I'm going to lose all my money. No. Look, somebody made a big buy right before the end of the day. Look at that. Somebody's betting big on it. God, look at all these sales coming through. People wanting out. It ain't already come out, has it? Let me check Benzinga real quick and see if it's already earnings come out. The only thing they have to do is wait until 4 o'clock before they issue it. Nope, if it's out already, it's not showing. Let's see. What do we got? Huh. Oh no, I'm gonna lose everything, guys. I'm out. If y'all been watching the last few days on earnings, every one of them that's done good so far has done this. It's sold off and then picked back up. So really, you just can't tell until the earnings report fully comes out. These are just people glad that they're up right now, so they're getting out. Remember I told you I was going to play CLF? If it ran up, I would get out and not risk the earnings. Well, that's what they're doing. They're not risking earnings. They're getting out while they're up. But you can see the hesitation. Okay. Well, guys. Yeah, look. This is actually, I believe this is going to end up doing really well for me. So let me check and see if y'all have any questions before we call it. Alright guys, if that's it, I appreciate you coming out and hanging out with me for Power Hour. Let's do the morning briefing in the morning and find some really good plays to play before lunch. And let's see if we can do good tomorrow. So far, every day that we've done it, except for one, we've came out smelling like a rose, man. You know what I mean? We've made money. And that one day we didn't lose no money. We just didn't find no trades right off the bat. So let's do that then. So we'll have our morning briefing in the morning. We'll have Power Hour, and then our Sunday Stocks Talk will be Sunday. Guys, y'all can bring any tickers or anything for me to look at. We'll go over them, take a look at them, all that stuff. Sorry about my kid being loud today, guys, but that's just the way he is. So again, hit that like and subscribe button. If I could talk right, I would. And just appreciate you hanging out with me, guys. You have a good one.